Hello and a warm welcome to TBC News, our top stories. Israel-Palestine two-state solution and its prospects. Tanzania seeks more strategic ties as Tanzania-US Trade and Investment Forum launched.
We need America's expertise in logistics, storage, and market linkages to be able to realize its full potential.
Good evening, I am Teddy Mparanyanga. You can also follow us live via YouTube channel TVC Online and also get all the latest news through Instagram, Facebook, and X pages at TVC Online. Chama cha Mapinduzi CCM presidential candidate Samia Suluhu Hassan has promised to improve the mining sector by prioritizing small-scale miners and also establishing integrated mining and industrial complexes to add value to minerals so as to transform them into higher value products domestically. Samia made the pledge in Songea Municipality, Ruvuma region, as she continues with her campaigns to seek her party's re-election, insisting that the move will foster economic growth, job creation, and boost the value of minerals mined in the region.
Anzisha na kuendeleza kongani za viwanda zinazohusiana na mambo ya madini ili tuweze kuongeza.
We will establish and expand industrial clusters related to mining sector so that we can add value to our minerals before exporting them, with special focus on small-scale mining and miners.
The CCM presidential candidate ticket furthermore vowed to install a nuclear power plant to generate more electricity for the region and the country.
This year, I launched a major uranium project in Namtumbo. Beyond extraction, we want the uranium to be processed locally and used to generate electricity within the country. Our goal is to double national power generation. We are currently at nearly 4,000 megawatts, and we are targeting 8,000 megawatts, part of which will come from uranium.
Speaking earlier at the political rally, CCM presidential running mate Ambassador Emmanuel Nchimbi emphasized on the importance of voting.
Kwenda kujenga maghala mapya 6 ya kuhifadhi nafaka Ludewa.
We are going to build new storage warehouses and provide 5 cashews processing machines. In next 5 years, we will also establish 5 new coffees processing plants. I therefore encourage Tanzanians to vote in this year's elections.
The CCM presidential candidate Samia Suluhu Hassan, after completing her campaigns in the Ruvuma region, is expected to start campaigning in the Mtwara region. CCM Zanzibar presidential candidate Dr. Hussein Ali Mwinyi has promised to continue to create conducive environment for doing business and ensuring local loans to entrepreneurs and traders in Unguja and Pemba. Dr. Mwinyi made the pledge while addressing entrepreneurs at the Kenya Senior Market as part of his continuation of campaigns.
Tunatambua kwamba kikwazo kikubwa kwa wengi wajasiriamali ni mitaji, hawana mitaji.
We recognize that the biggest challenge for many entrepreneurs is access to capital. The government will provide interest-free loans to those in tourism sector, along with training in entrepreneurship so that the funds are used effectively. I have already directed our institution, ZAEA, to ensure that this key economy sector full supports entrepreneurs in carrying out their work.
Furthermore, the CCM presidential candidate has met and held talks with various stakeholders in the tourism sector in Nungwi Unguja North region, vowing to improve the tourism sector so that it continues to benefit all citizens.
Tuna biashara kubwa ya utalii katika nchi yetu, kuzidi ndege zinazoingia Tanzania bara katika viwanja vyote. Maana yake ni kwamba hii ni faraja.
Tourism in our country is growing significantly, with more flights now arriving in mainland Tanzania airports This is a great boost for our main economic sector here in Zanzibar. But let me emphasize our goal as a government is not only to increase tourist numbers. We promote that we call tourism for all, meaning tourism should benefit everyone. We want, and we have already started, is to ensure this sector benefits as many Zanzibarians as possible.
Tourism stakeholders in Nungwi have urged the CCM Zanzibar Presidential to look into the issue of fees and create a better environment for locals involved in the tourism sector. Canada, the United Kingdom, and Australia, France have recognized Palestinian statehood, a symbolic response to Israel's ongoing war on Gaza and territorial expansion in the occupied West Bank. Most states, including Portugal, are expected to recognize Palestine in the coming days after the announcements on Sunday. To discuss more on this huge political shift and its impact to Africa, we are joined live by political analyst Parthenos Nyagira. Mr. Nyagira, welcome to TVC.
Thank you so much.
Many European countries, alongside Canada and the UK, are beginning to recognize this Palestinian statehood. What does this signal about the current global political climate and the shifting alliances?
Yeah, first of all, you have to remember in 1947 when the United Nations came with the resolution 181 titled the Partitioning Plan. Its major aim was actually to maintain and to have two-state solution to the question of Palestine. And due to the changing nature by that time, you know, UN was like 2 years from 1945 when it was founded. So you could see there's been a many play in between. During that time, there was a Cold War. The world was still divided, bipolar. Two nations were the major powers, so the balance of power was between two nations. But by that time, now due to the disintegration of Soviet Union, together with the upcoming other nations, changing from bipolar to multipolar, changing the equation. And today nations now are claiming to leave the standard of their national ethos, their national characteristics. So it is changing day after day. You can check, for example, things to deal with the war between Russia and Ukraine. At the same time, you could see the rise of BRICS and all these. These are the powers which are, cannot be overstated. So today, coming up with the change on the status quo, makes these nations now think a new dimension, a new line of doing things. You can imagine 77 years of the conflict, and while you know there is no conflict which is so bigger than the human perception and human development. So 77 means there have been nations which have been so blind to the extent that they were supporting national, we say national rights instead of the rights of the citizens. So the values of that time and today, they are much concerned with changing the global perspective when it comes to global politics, but as well as national domestic political pressure to maintain their rights within the countries. And that's where we are.
Okay, and how could this recognition now influence the dynamics of the Israel-Palestine conflict, especially in terms of negotiations, peace processes, and resolutions?
You know, formally, these states, after 1947, the resolution was supported by 33 countries. And after then, many nations have been silent, taking what actually happened in the World War I, where they came with isolation policies, thinking that they will not be affected. But today now, within their local territories, they are faced with political pressure. You can imagine the life of a kid in Manchester, the value of the kid in Manchester is the same value of the kid in Gaza. So what are we going to tell the Gaza people? What are we going to tell the Palestinians today? So coming out freely and coming out directly like this is posing a trend where you can say you and all these international organizations which are set to negotiate on behalf of these nations to take their cause. By then, yes, even today you could see the way UN is taken is not with the magnitude and the extent it was formed in 1945 after the fall of the League of the Nations. So these are the things which I think are crucial, that today nations come out clearly And at the same time, will influence its negotiation capacity, because the allies of, for example, the great allies of Israel, like America, US, is going to change the way of approaching this issue of Palestine and Israel. And many other nations, if they mount themselves pressure on that in the UN Security Council and in the UN meetings, definitely there will be some change, because they have seen war after war. 77 years in conflict is not something easy.
Okay. Do you foresee African countries and the Middle East following this trend?
Let me begin with the African countries. African countries, since 1947 and when they got independence, they have been supporting the two-state solutions. In many African countries, the PLO has been a great friend for them. So it is not just a new thing for Africans. But now, they won't have this, what we call the non-allied kind of thinking. They will be strengthening their decisions that supporting a two-state solution is something honorable, is something dear. So nations are following on that. So Africa will be strengthening its decisions, and those countries which we are not, for example, supporting, they are going to come out clearly, because now the struggles of the people in Gaza, in Palestine in general, has been related with the struggle of the black people around the world. So they take the Palestinian and the Gaza people as friends, as people who need support. So Africa, we can look at it on that side. But on the side of the Arab nations, of course, some other countries are going now to declare their stand very clear of where they belong. And you remember the resolution was to divide the British mandate by then into Arabs and the Jewish state. But something never went proper. The war came out, and these Arab states were divided. Instead of having two states, they became more three, having the Israeli state coming with the west bank of River Jordan, the west bank, and this Gaza. So this time they are going to protect their region, and they are going to stand clearly on the decisions that will be made by the UN.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Nyegera, for such an insightful observation. The Vice President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Dr. Philip Mpango, says Tanzania is ready to work closely with the United States business community and facilitate investment through reformed laws, improve infrastructure, and free market economy. The Vice President made the remarks while opening the Tanzania-U.S. Trade and Investment Forum held on the sidelines of the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly, UNGA 80, in New York, USA, stressing that the Tanzanian government recognizes the private sector as a key driver for economic transformation.
The government of the United Republic of Tanzania is working constantly to improve and create an enabling environment for trade and investment. And in that process, we have reduced the business registration period from 14 days to 24 hours. Investment permits that used to take months now take hours or a few days through a one-stop center. The government is determined to improve the regulatory environment, including elimination of unnecessary regulations. We are also investing in education to produce the skilled workforce that you need. And anchored in the Vision 2050 and the transformative 4Rs framework, which stands for reconciliation, resilience, reform, and rebuilding. Tanzania plans to mobilize $185 billion over the next 5 years, equivalent to about $37 billion annually, in order to propel Tanzania into an industrial, logistical, and business powerhouse.
Furthermore, the Vice President welcomes investors from the United States to invest in Tanzania in key and strategic sectors, including critical minerals, which are key for the green revolution.
Tanzania alone has the potential to feed the African continent and even the world while generating superior returns. You may wish to know that the Southern Agricultural Growth Corridor of Tanzania has already attracted $3.5 billion in commitments, but we need America's expertise in logistics, storage, and market linkages to be able to realize its full potential. Distinguished business leaders, I also see ample opportunities in healthcare. The prevailing challenges in the sector can certainly be turned into opportunities. Presently, Africa imports 94% of its medicines, spending $14 billion annually.
Tanzania-US Business and Investment Forum was attended by investors and businessmen and women from Tanzania and the United States, where they commended Tanzania for improving the investment environment as well as having predictable policies. The Tanzanian ambassador to Nigeria, Celestine Kakere, says the introduction of direct flights from ATCL Airlines between Tanzania and Lagos, Nigeria, will help reduce the cost of transporting goods and services, a move that will help increase sales of agricultural products such as spices, leather, and sea salt in the country. He made the remarks in Lagos, Nigeria, while opening a business event between the Nigerian and Tanzanian business communities, aimed at persuading the two communities to use ATCL Airlines for their business activities. Rahma Smabili reports.
In a move sent to boost trade and economic cooperation, ATCL Airlines has launched direct flight between Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, and Lagos, Nigeria. The initiative, which began this evening, aims to facilitate the movement of goods and services, reducing transportation costs and opening new market opportunities. Tanzanian ambassador to Nigeria, Celestine Kakere, highlighted the significance of this development during a business event held in Lagos.
That Air Tanzania is here to take you to Tanzania to explore the business potentials at a more convenient and an affordable cost. To Tanzania's diaspora, you are the epicenter of our new foreign policy, both as beneficiaries and agents of implementation.
ATCL CEO Peter Ulanga emphasized that the new route also provides a gateway for other West African countries to engage in business with Tanzania.
This is our first destination in the eastern and the western part of Africa. We are now in Lagos. We have few plans to go to Accra, Ghana, and then the next destination will be Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire, and then the final one will be Senegal, in Dakar. This will bring opportunity for West African citizens to visit Tanzania and all the travelers from West Africa to come to Dar es Salaam. At the same time, connect into our expanding network, which now covers the southern part of Africa, about 9 destinations, all the way to South Africa, all the way to China, all the way to Dubai and Mumbai. So this is a big opportunity for both Tanzanians to travel in our network now into the West Africa, but also for every of the global travelers who are actually looking for opportunities and options to travel around the world.
So we have expanded our operations to Lagos. Why did we decide to do that? Because this is a strategic market for us. We know the population in Nigeria. We know the population in Tanzania. We are expanding. We are also increasing and enhancing the business opportunities. We believe that we will get more tourists, we will get more business people, we will get more employees of both private and public sector who will be traveling. And by doing so, we will be able to contribute directly in terms of the revenue of the company, Air Tanzania, but also contributing indirectly by enhancing the revenue of the other sectors, the tourism sector, the mining sector, and the business sector as well.
We are the premier cardiac institute in East and Central Africa, where we receive and see a good number of patients from the neighboring countries like Kenya, Malawi, Uganda, Zimbabwe, and Zambia, and Comoro. So we think that the presence of these flights will help elevate our status as the key destination for medical tourism in Tanzania.
With Nigeria's population exceeding 232.7 million and a national income of over 243.7 billion, the potential for economic growth is substantial. Reporting from Lagos, Nigeria, Rehema Sibabili, TBC News.
Tanzania's ambassador to Nigeria, Celestine Kakwere, says Tanzania's leather trade with Nigeria is expected to grow, boosting revenue and foreign exchange reserves. The development follows a large market for leather products in Nigeria, where cowhides is considered a staple food, adding that the introduction of direct flights from ATCL will streamline the transportation of the hides to the Nigerian market. Here is Rehema Sibabili reporting from Nigeria with more details.
Leather trade is a significant business between Tanzania and Nigeria, particularly at the Sangres market in Lagos, known for its hide sales, often referred to as bomo.
Nigeria, ngozi kwanza ni chakula, kama chakula ni nyama. Ngozi ni nyama, ni nyama kama sehemu nyingine ya nyama.
First, in Nigeria, hides are considered a staple food and are consumed as such. Secondly, hides are also industrial products used to make goods like shoes and belts. Therefore, the launch of direct flights will boost the trade volume between these two countries.
Nigerians consider cowhides a favorite food.
You cook it, when you season it, you parboil it. After parboiling it, depending on what you want to use it for, but mostly we use it for soup, vegetable soup, ewedu, that's for the Yoruba. They have a dikankong for the Efik people, that's the Kalabari. So those are the things we use it for. Some people do it as a pepper meat. They use it in drinking, some like beer or something. People use it in some party.
Pomo is a kind of meat that we usually consume in Nigeria. They break it out from the back of the skin, from the skin of a cow, and although most people say that it lacks nutrients, but at least the sweetness of it when they cook it in soup, that's what we enjoy in eating it in Nigeria.
Traders noted that cow skin prices are relatively low, making it profitable business due to the large consumer markets.
The price is very less, and even is very less. Like you can see like 300 now, 200 or 100 naira own. And if they want to cook it, some days that don't have money, they will say, just give me one pomo. They will sell it for 200 naira.
The people that they are not selling our market are always carries come because they are selling it well. Nobody where they sell pomo does not sell well. Some day where they know they sell meat, where they just carry pomo come from Ejebu, from far away, and sell it from here because they know say it's selling well.
And if you want to sell pomo with meat, that 1 kilo now they sell them for 15,000 per kilo. For other place, our own here, I know they sell with pomo, and they sell only beef on the top side, and they sell kilo now. Something don't cost. Now, if you want to buy a cow now, cow don't really expect it. Don't get 1 point before they buy cow, 300,000, 200,000.
According to the traders, a piece of bomo sells for between 200 and 300 naira. From Lagos, Rehema Sibabili, TBC News.
Thank you, Rehema Sibabili, for that report. Today on our segment of Beyond the Ballot, we take a closer look at the profile of the presidential candidate of the Democratic Party, DP, Abdul Juma Mluya.
Abdul Juma Mluya was born in 1974 in Urambo district, located in Tabora region. Today, he stands as the presidential candidate of the Democratic Party. Mluya began his political journey in 1986 as a member of CCM. By 1992, he officially acquired his CCM membership card, but in 1996, he left CCM and joined CAF. In 2012, Mluya says he once again felt a strong political calling.
Nilipokuja kwa marehemu Mtikila mwaka 2012 alivyoniita nikakubali ile wito nikaanza kufanya naye siasa.
I accepted the call to return to politics in 2012 when I was appointed the Deputy Secretary General of DP for Tanzania mainland. I served in that position until 2018 when I was elected as the Secretary General, a role I held until January 26th this year.
Throughout his years in politics, he had never contested for any leadership position. But in 2025, history takes a new turn. With the approval of his party, Mluya is entering the race as the presidential candidate of the United Republic of Tanzania.
Members of our party recognized the way I effectively led the party and felt I deserved to become the chairperson. So they entrusted me with that position this year.
And these are his key priorities.
The elderly, children under 5, and the people with special needs will receive essential services free of charge.
On the economy, he pledges reforms aimed at improving livelihoods.
Some small unnecessary taxes will be removed. For example, if someone has a capital between 100,000 and 10 million shillings and is required to pay more than 5 different taxes, that is not helping them.
On peace, he emphasizes unity, stressing that national harmony is the foundation for development.
We have a responsibility to conduct peaceful campaigns that do not insult others, but instead promote peace.
This is Abdul Juma Mluya, presidential candidate of the Democratic Party. Esther Deus, TBC News.
In case you missed any of our stories, remember you can always go to our YouTube channel at TBC Online and watch anytime, anywhere. Before concluding the local news, let's take a look at today's exchange rates according to the Bank of Tanzania, BOT. Don't miss TBC News every weekday to know all the latest in exchange rates. Time now for all the latest in sports news. And in sports news, finally, Coach Fadlu Davids has officially announced his departure from the realm of Simba Sports Club after serving as a coach for a year. According to his statement posted on his social media pages, the young coach has confirmed his departure, thanking all the people who worked with him, including the team's owner, Mohamed Dewji. Fadlu says since he has joined Simba, he has been a #1 fan for the club, filled with deep love for the team and the fans who he admits were always with him. KMC head coach Marcio Maximo says his team will use extra tactics to win tomorrow's game against Singida Black Stars at their home ground KMC complex. Maximo insists that he is sure that his tactics he plans to use in the game will earn him 3 points from his rival, Argentine coach Miguel Gamondi, whom he says he always thinks of victory with his well-crafted plans.
We are similar style. We like possession, we like vertical game, we like fast transitions. I think that tomorrow will be a good game, you know. I think we expect tomorrow a good game because Brazilians and the Argentines like to play football. So tomorrow want to be different. Tomorrow we expect, like I told you, a good game for the fans.
It's a South American derby, but we appreciate each other. I respect him a lot. Have a great experience. He's a very good coach, and tomorrow will be very nice. We are like a friend outside, but inside the pitch, a friend. It's like in South America. It's a war. It's winning, and after finish the game, it's okay.
And that marks the end of our news bulletin for tonight. Do not miss our next bulletin in Kiswahili at 11 p.m. On behalf of the whole team, I am Teddy Mparnyanga. Have a lovely, lovely night.